All right, Nature's fans, we are back out at our new Melly Forestel project. We are getting ready to start finalizing this waterfall that we started a couple weeks ago. Luckily, the water level hasn't come up and we're able to get in here and start cutting these boulders in around the edge. Looks like weather could be contentious this week. It has been such a rainy spring. I know everybody's been dealing with the same thing, but we have got some awesome boulders that we tagged out at 𝐓𝐡𝐞 coming in this week. Got the big excavator showing up, and man, there's just gonna be so much action this week. It is gonna be amazing. So can't wait to get back at this one. Let's get started and show you what we got. So what we're doing here is we're extending a piece of the liner to reach up to where we've got these biofalls. So we've put down our EPDM primer, seam tape primer from Firestone, and we've got a 6-inch wide piece of cover tape that is covering those two pieces that are overlapped. And that's gonna give us the distance that we need to get up to our dig out and our biofalls where they're gonna be placed. As always, we tend to over deliver. We dug a little too much, but we were really so tight up in this area. We didn't have a lot of room to work with. We got the huge Signature 6000 biofalls. We've got 2 of those guys going in, and then we've got to create a bunch of waterfalls. But what we're doing with these is actually going to twist them in reverse of what we normally do, because at this angle we're going to have something dropping out facing that direction, so when they come in they're going to be able to see a little bit of the falls, and then we'll twist a set of falls that drops here that they will be able to view from there. And the same thing with this one over there in the corner between our suction line and the other section of the pond. We're going to be putting a big viewing stone, and we wanted people to be able to see the water coming out of this biofalls if they're on that viewing stone and view this angle. And the same thing, we'll have that stream flow out right about where the guys are seaming that tape or that liner in now. We're going to have another falls that drops in about where Miguel's knees are. That's going to then twist around, and everything's going to culminate into these 2 guys right here and give us the look that we're looking for. So we have this special little waterfall that comes right out of that biofalls and drops right into this little pocket, and that's what's going to be seen way over there. That's the whole idea, is really kind of open this space up so that we're not losing any kind of sight lines from anywhere. It's going to pool into that stream. We're going to have another cool fall that kind of comes in this direction. Everything will culminate right in there, drop down onto those 2 big ones. We've got that waterfall stone set over there, looking great. That thing has kind of got this convex curve that is just gonna get water rolling all the way off the face of that in a really cool direction, because remember, we want to pick up views from that viewing stone that's going out into the lake there from this angle. And then we stuck this guy in here. We'll build a little set of stairs to kind of come down. This will be a standing stone, kind of as a platform. You can come walk out onto it and get a close view of the waterfall. Such a cool spot. We're gonna drop in a nice big outcropping right here, retain all this soil, backfill this, get this tucked up and sealed, and then we'll throw some other outcroppings in there, kind of like what we did on this side over here. So we've got a couple big long hot dog ones just to retain this soil. So we were able to backfill and contain our liner, and then we dropped another accent in over there, and then just a small one up there. We have some extras. We'll probably dot a few up and through there. We're going to be spreading stone out through this whole bank on both sides, and we've got those steps that are coming down to that big viewing stone. So this is all going to be tied in to make this waterfall look like it's supposed to be here, and very purposeful, since there's really no stone anywhere else in the area. So the idea is all the way around the whole perimeter of this entire pond slash lake, we're going to be dropping in some big accents and just groupings of these outcroppings. If you look up against the back of the house there, they've also got some big outcropping retaining walls that have some steps that go down. So all that's going to tie into this whole thing and make the theme of stone that actually possibly existed in this area at one time, and giving purpose for this nice big waterfall. This is about a I don't know, 15 to 18 foot wide section of falls here. use a 25-foot wide liner. But what we wanted to do was really, since we don't have height and we don't have a lot of length, we wanted to really kind of build this out widthwise, because again, they're looking at this from such a long viewing area. We wanted them to really visibly be able to see this water. So coming along really nice. Here we've got our big platform stone. We've got our flanking outcropping here. We've backfilled this with boulders and some gravel. We're gonna probably make like a little beach section here and maybe set a seating boulder right there to retain this, and then do some more outcroppings. But right here, we're gonna actually come off on this side with the steps. They're gonna run up to this top level, and then we'll flank that with more outcroppings as support stones. So this is really coming along nice. You can see now that bucket's out of the way. We've got our view. It's that small window right through there. You'll see that water coming out of that biofalls, and that's what we were wanting to see, just enough that someone could stand here, see, and actually hear some of the water. And actually the big waterfall, you can see just off the point of that big outcropping stone, you're gonna see that flowing right there as well. So that's gonna be a really killer view from this point. And this is such a cool stone to actually stand right at the water's edge, toss in a line, and just view the overall landscape. Alrighty, Nature's fans, how's it going this afternoon? We are back out in our New Melly Forestel project, where we've just completed, and they finally got the electric up and running, our waterfall into this natural earthen bottom pond. We've got all the steps and outcropping accent boulders placed around the entire perimeter of this pond, and it just looks amazing. Let me turn you guys around and show you what we've got going here. Check out this set of waterfalls. This is just amazing. We have two 10,000 gallon per hour pumps running these two guys, and it is just creating tons of whitewater movement, sound that they can view all the way over at the back of the home there, which is just an amazing vantage point. But I tell you, being right next to these guys, you can feel the force of that water, and it's probably a little hard to hear me right now because these things are moving. Amazing how these came out. We've got water pretty much at every angle of the vantage points that these are going to be enjoyed. We've got that dual 6,000 biofalls as our origination point. We set this big log back here so we can get some grade away from the back of those so we don't get water coming into them. But check out this set of falls here. Remember, from the entrance all the way over there, we are wanting to pick up some views that they would be able to see from coming in and not just lose this side, because if we would have started this with the biofalls facing that direction, it would have been a great vantage point from there, but we would have lost the opportunity for them to be able to see and enjoy this as things flow out of this origination point. But I just love how that water appears to be born from a spring that comes out from underneath that big ledge that we use to cap off those two guys, and it really is doing exactly what we'd hoped. We've got multiple different angles coming in here. It's going to get really loud here because this is that last set of falls where we're coming down into the pond. And check out how cool that looks. Now the pond is just a little bit low from some of the evap since we've been out last, but that doesn't matter because we've got just that much more height to these last set of falls coming in. I love how we've got that split and that separation with that big center boulder there that really spreads water out across the entire space here, and it just looks amazing. I haven't been able to go across the lake and see what it looks like yet, but I can tell you right now, this thing is doing exactly what we want. We've got water in the center here. There's a gap, split it out on both sides. That side over there can definitely be viewed from our viewing stone, that ledge that we put away out into the water there. So that is completely looking exactly how we wanted. And I just love how we've got so much water visual here in this big space because it's such a large area. If we didn't spread this out, we just had one central fall, this thing would not have been nearly as impactful from the distance that they were trying to view this from. But you see how we towed these outcropping stones in all along here and bled those throughout this entire embankment. The idea was to make this fall feel like it has purpose for being here because there was already stone existing in this whole area. And I think we did a phenomenal job in doing that. This is our pump house area. We've got that thing camouflaged and very ornately decorated, easy to access. We've got their electrical service that is hidden by these big guys here. We had to leave a little bit of a angle for them to get in, so they do see it a little bit from this side, but a very strategically placed ornamental grass would hide that in no time at all. But let's go over here to these steps where this ledge piece comes down into the water, or should I say big boulder. But the idea was that once this all gets filled in with plants and the grass gets grown out, we wanted them to be able to literally walk right to the water's edge. And that's exactly what this stone does for us. This is a spot where you can totally sit down, put your feet in the water. We've got all kinds of aquatic activity. I get some frog eggs down there. It is just awesome. But if you look right here, I'm able to see that little fall right at that angle. You can hear it pretty well from here. Again, if we would have twisted that to go facing the house, we would have lost that opportunity. And it looks so nice to be able to see and hear that from this angle. And then here are those steps. This is a cool little sitting area. They could put a cooler, fishing tackle box, whatever they want to do. Use this as a seating rock, but I love the size of these massive steps. This is exactly what we were hoping for, something that has enough width that it feels safe to be able to walk up and down, being at the water's edge. And then we flanked that with a bunch of outcroppings and then continued those boulders as accents all the way around the whole perimeter of this pond, all the way to that entrance where we've got that riprap dry creek coming in, where the feed primarily fills this pond. And it just looks like this has always been here and was supposed to be here, which is the whole point. Once they landscape this all, it is going to fit in very, very nicely with this setting, and I could not be any happier with the outcome.